Survey Department of Sri Lanka. And so it's again time to wake you up, I think, like what the last guest speaker did, because it's almost sleeping time for everybody. Right. So when we think about this, the opportunities of GNSS technology for the national development and the security. So what I'm specifically would like to stress here, the opportunities which are available freely that we can use for our development and also for our national security. As well, what are the little difficulties that we can jump into the good side and with the difficult side of using these technologies in the present period. So let me, oops, very sorry. Right. Let me start my discussion with giving you a very brief and a slight introduction what is the term called GNSS means. So it's a very standard and generic term that we're using for giving introduction to the satellite-based positioning and navigation systems. Satellite-based positioning and navigation system. But the term itself not mentioned in positioning, but it's mainly designed for a navigation type of applications. So it's defined as global navigation satellite systems. So before several years, we are not talking about GNSS. We are popularly talking about something called GPS, because that was a very general availability that for all civilians, except the United States military, we call every other people as civilians, they define. So that is the only available system that globally position or navigate any stuff in the global environment. So the GNSS technology present day, it's providing geospatial positioning and timing. So that is also very important, positioning and timing as well, with the worldwide coverage. So timing as well, one very important aspect to synchronize things globally. Now, if you take a credit card, if you take a Visa or Master credit card, you have to synchronize them globally, because the things move here and there with the internet with a quick time. So you have to synchronize your transactions globally. So this is the only application that you can do such thing, because GNSS is providing you precise time, not only positioning and navigation. So it's a very important aspect. Now, there's a very nice market report by the European GNSS market report published in October 2013. They're saying that by 2022, the number of GNSS receivers which utilized direct or indirect means in the application globally are almost equal to the population of the planet Earth. The number of GNSS receivers that the people utilize or used by some other way is almost equal to the population of the planet Earth. So it's giving you some idea that GNSS you cannot forget about. You have to think about it, you have to use it in next coming years, very recent future, not a long future. Right, so just a little breakdown of this GNSS technology into two main categories. We can plug them out. So basically the global type of GNSS systems, and also we have regional and also typical type of technique augmentation systems as well. So the global size, the GNSS systems are owned by the leading countries, United States, Russia, China, and the European Union. So they having the global type of navigation, global type of positioning systems. So the most common one is the GPS one, owned by the United States, and the Russian one. This is the two system which is presently active, full operation. But there are two systems coming in the recent future, and it's in a process of development, which is Galileo by the European Union and the Beidou by the China. So this is also coming in the recent future to the world of GNSS. Plus, we have regional systems, individual countries like Japan, India, and Europe, and also the North American countries. They're using regional and the augmentation systems for their specific applications. For instance, if you take the first one, Gnss, the Japanese system, they're basically using this one additional support to the available global systems to give an advanced, enhanced positioning results. Positioning results, the system is not having very difficult or very rigorous scenario as the global system, very simple, having 2-3 satellites, but having a very nice results of positioning for a specific area. And Indian also, they are looking for this kind of a system. And the augmentation system, these are also very popular. So this is what a very critical factor of GNSS. You cannot use GPS blindly. So this is very important. So there are several applications the researchers present here. They're using GPS, but accuracy, you have to think about it. You cannot use it without understanding of the accuracy, without validation of the accuracy. So because of that, we have several augmentation systems, so which is available worldwide. So all these things together coming as a package of GNSS to the future. Right. Out of that, the United States GNSS system called GPS, the father name is GPS, but the real name is NAVSTAR GPS. So this is the most used GNSS system in the world because it's open for the civilian for last 30 years. For the last 30 years, it's open for the civilian for the free use. So that is a very important aspect. And also they're having the policy for the next 2-3 decades as well. They're saying that we are going to provide this facility with improved accuracy for the civilians. With the improved accuracy for the civilians, they're going to continue this same process with a worldwide coverage without any charge. So this is what they're expecting. And to maintain this availability, so they start a process called modernization, GPS modernization in the year 2000, and having the main objectives of adding up new satellites to the space, which allows you to have many satellites in the space. So if you miss 1 or 2 by the obstacles or whatever the different tree, canopy, and difficult situation, you have at least 4 satellites giving you signals, so you will get a solution. So adding up new satellites to the space, and when you're talking about the GNSS, you're getting plenty of satellites in the space. So you will, the probability of having 4 satellites is enhancing. In addition to that, the primary design of monitoring station of these satellites are 5. Now they move towards more than 20. There are plenty of monitoring stations around the world. They're monitoring the condition of the satellites, and the inaccuracy which introduced by the satellites are coming down. So the improved accuracy that you can get is also rising with this modernization process, not only by the satellites, but also by the controlling and the monitoring stations. In addition to that, the most important thing is each satellite, in the initial design, each satellite is transmitting 1 civilian use signal, which means out of the United States military, the entire other population of the global, including the military of the other countries like Sri Lanka. So they treat us as civilians, and the signal that they allow us is only 1 channel. But for the next generation, they're adding up several civilian channels, so which enhance the number of resection, number of getting signals from the satellites. So why I'm talking about all these things, because we don't need to worry about the accuracy in the future. Because the availability of the satellites are coming up, plenty of satellites are coming into the space. So it's very important aspect, because we should not fear about the accuracy because it's going to be automatically increased, but you have to use some techniques to further improve and to make it very secure. And also these developments are basically for the accuracy and the reliability or the availability enhancement of GPS technology. And I'll give you one fact of from the United States is they're spending for the year 2014 US $1.2 billion for the modernization or the development of the GPS constellation, satellites plus the controlling station, testing and all the other different things per year. 1.2 billion US dollars, giving us free facility to get positions. So we are presenting all the different research here. Now there's one research coming following my speech, rail tracking. How we can do that? Because we have the GPS. Otherwise we cannot do it. We have to find some other way of doing it. So it's free, so we are doing it. So that is the main thing. So they're spending money and we are using it, but we have to use it in a proper way now. We have to think what are the different availabilities in the future. Now, this is the modernization process of satellite constellation of GPS system, aiming at the performance, benefits to the civilians plus the military. It's hidden, but that is there. They're highlighting that this is for the benefit of the civilian application, sorry. Now, so presently we are here. Presently we are in the Block 2F from 2010 to present. They're launching these satellites. So these satellites are repeatedly launched into the space, and that will end up hopefully in 2016 and the third generation of GPS satellites. We are the second generation. Presently, the third generation of the GPS satellites are launching starting with the 2016, so they're having additional advantage, additional benefits for you, for the civilians. We can use them. We have to grab them up. We have to think about in a different way how to use this technology which is in the space and releasing freely down. So we have to collect it and use for application. So that is a very vital and important aspect of GPS technology. So let me give some facts of this modernization process. And currently, if you start from the left side corner, so we have Block 2A satellites. Operational, we have 6 satellites, and then we have Block 2R, 12 satellites. That is the before modernization. Before modernization, the generation of satellite before modernization. Then we have the within bracket M, which is modernized. The Block 2RM, which is the modernized satellite, and it's having 2 signals for the civilian benefits. 2 signals. Earlier, for the Block 2 and Block 2A and Block 2R, we had only 1 signal for the civilians, but there were 2 signals for the military. United States military, but in the present situation, the present situation of the satellite, we have 2 civilian signals, but there's a doubt how many of we using these 2 civil signals. Presently, all the applications are developed to use only 1 civil signal. All the applications that you presented here, they're using only 1 civil signal, but we have altogether 19 satellites in the space which are launching more than 2 civil signals. So we have to use that. So if we use that, our accuracy will improve. So that is the very important aspect. Now, the next generation, the present generation, which is started in 2010 to 2016, the Block 2F satellite. So they're having 3 civilian signals. They're having 3 civilian signals, and in the space you have 5 satellites transmitting down these 3 civilian signals freely. Right? We have 5, and recent launch is on last month, and that will operate with the full condition in within next few months. So we have 6 operational satellites in the recent future, and they're expecting many satellites to be in the space with all these different civilian signals. And the third generation satellites, they're having 4 civil signals. They're starting to launch this one from the year 2016. They're going to launch these satellites to the space from the year 2016. What you have is, you have more signals now. You have plenty of satellites, you have plenty of signals. We have to use them. So this is what we have to think about. And the other important thing is, if you look at this lifespan, the lifetime of, the predicted lifetime of each satellite, the Block 3 satellites, they're expecting for 15 years. 15 years. So the satellite, once you launch, that will last for 15 years. So you will get a longer period of coverage from these satellites. So that is also one additional advantage. So let me give some very important facts of these new satellite signals, new civilian signals, which is available presently as well. So one satellite signal, the old civilian signal is, everybody knows, CA code. So that is the old signal. Now everybody using for their applications CA code. Generally, L1 frequency, CA code we are using. Even in our mobile phones, we have L1 CA mobile phones, so they're getting the general civilian signal. But additionally, you have some other signals as well. So, for example, L2C. So this is the new, the presently available second civilian signal. And it's transmitting with a higher power, with a lower frequency than what you have with the L1. So those signals are having high power. High power means they can penetrate certain things. They can come even inside a building. Now, presently, very few GPS receivers can receive signals in an obstructed situation, in a difficult condition. But once you have it, the L2C, you will get the signals even stronger than what you had with L1. So it's very important. Very important. So you can get minimized error with the obstacle and the difficult multipath condition in the second line. So you will get a minimized error with these strong signals. So it's very important aspect. In addition to that, very important aspect is you can do ionospheric corrections, ionospheric errors, which introduce to the signal at the ionosphere by using these two signals. You can compare. So this is a possibility that the United States military is used before. That's why the United States military is having higher accuracy than the civilians at the last decades. Because they have two military signals, so they're comparing that and they're getting the corrections for the ionosphere and correction for the several other aspects and improve their positional accuracy. So this is what we have now. We have it. So we can use them to enhance our accuracy. Only thing is, you have to know that these things are there, so you have to use them for your application. So this is a very important aspect. So you have to read literature, you have to study about these things if you are working for the research and development of these aspects. And the beautiful thing is, if you have L2C, the capability, you will get signals under the trees, under the canopy and other things, because presently, general GPS receiver will not receive signal under a difficult condition. But with L2C, you will get that facility because it's stronger. It can penetrate these difficult conditions. But the challenge is, if you have the stronger GPS signals, the manufacturers who's developing GPS receivers, they can cut down their cost. Because they don't need to produce much power to absorb signals. Because the signal is powerful, so you can have very moderately capable receiver to get these signals. Because of that, you can design, you can develop very tiny receivers with a small power consumption. Because the signals are very powerful, right? So that is one low power chipsets you can. From the AM era of the radio, we move into the FM era. Now, if you are still using the FM radio, can you listen that quality music? But the quality music is available. But only thing is you have to buy the new radio. Now, when you are purchasing GPS receivers, we are at the edge. 2016, we will get here 19 satellites which are streaming down L2C and L5 signals. So altogether you have 3 signals for the civilian application. The initial one CA, L2C and L5. So it's very important. So if you're planning to purchase receivers now, so you have to well aware that whether my receiver, whether my radio is FM capable or AM. You should not blame the technology, but you have to move with the technology. So this is the most important thing. Now, we have to go with the third generation GPS equipments and the technology. Now, presently all mobile phones, all the general applications that we are talking about, they're using the generation which is already going down with the GPS technology. Now, future, you can still use that. You can still use that because at the third generation satellites, which are planning to launch from the beginning of 2016, they are still facilitating that initial code, CA. That is the latency. So it's there. So if you have an AM radio still, you can listen well as the savior. Right? But you cannot go for the good quality music with the FM. So this is what you will get. So we have to get ready for this, these challenges. Now, again, from the GNSS market report in 2013, published in October 2013, so they're saying the present GNSS usability by the global civilians is around 2 billion units. 2 billion units. So out of that, the beautiful thing is LBS, location-based services, what the previous speakers talk about, LBS, mobile phone-based systems. It's around 47%. 47%. It's too much. And the vehicle, road navigation, aviation, surveying is simple, 4.5 compared to the other things. So, and the prediction is with the next decade is around 7 billion people going to use about these things. The important thing, motivation I want to give you for the national motivation is you can see the red patch exactly over Sri Lanka, which gives the number of satellites 35 with the elevation mask. If you are using the GPS, you know this. You can set in your GPS receiver the elevation mark means if you set 30, which means the satellites which are over 30 degree is tracked by your GPS receiver, which means only the high elevation satellites. Over Sri Lanka, we will get around 30 or 30 plus satellites sending you all these 3 signals or the 4 civilian signals. So multiply 30 into 4. You have 120 opportunities to get 4. You need only 4. You need only 4 solutions, 4 equations to solve your problem. You have 120 opportunities. So it's massive. So the availability is tremendous in the coming future. So people will use this. So that is the most important aspect that I have to give you. One very small, very brief. To coming into the sustainable development, very important things that we have to think about with the GNSS technology. First thing, national policy and the standards. We have to establish, so the Survey General is here, so their duty, so they have to maintain these standards and the other different public organizations as well. And the law against jamming, so this is very important. Now, presently, my computer is hacked by a hacker through the internet. In the future, my GPS will hack or my GPS will jam. So my application is going to crash. So if I want to turn left, my GPS will instruct me to turn right because of the different cyber attack or different jamming problems. So we have to address this. We have to have law, we have to have policies, how to prevent these different problems. And additionally, the uncertainty of the accuracies. We have to address, we have to develop techniques, we have to develop procedures to improve the accuracy because that is very sensitive. Look at this railway line. Presently, we have 2 lines. Future, we have plenty of lines. So we have to get which line we should move precisely, accurately. Otherwise, it's a disaster. So with having these thoughts, I have several other things to discuss, but I'll finish with here. So will GNSS do everything for you in the future? But we have to be careful. One thought I want to give. Now, this could be a little controversial, but you can think about it. Now, United States is giving this facility for us freely. I feel like they're making us addicted for this technology or the GNSS towards forcing us for a technological colonization by the leading nations, China, US, European Union, and the United States. Because think about in 2020, without GNSS, a life. Think about present, a life without Facebook. In 2020, life without GNSS. So this is what will happen. So if they block this, things are going to crash. No ATM machines working, no electricity, no power, no gas, no transportation, no railway lines, no buses. So we are adopting this technology to everywhere. But if they stop this, we cannot do anything. Huh? So we have to have some other solutions. We have to develop. That's why Japan, India, China, they try to develop their own systems. Right. Thank you very much. And I hope I let you think something and try to use these opportunities and don't forget the challenges. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dammalage, for the elaborate